Good evening, everybody. My name is Desiree Faulkner, and I am a real estate developer in Miami. Today, I want to talk about how do we enhance legacy in urban communities. When I was a young adult, I worked in the city. I took the railroad back and forth to work. On the ride, I sat near the window and observed the different rail stops. The rail passed through various communities. It amazed me that within a quarter mile or two, how different the neighborhoods transitioned. The area went from beautifully maintained homes, picket fences, green grass, nice cars, nice shopping areas, to deteriorated, dilapidated structures with derelict vehicles, garbage, graffiti, broken light posts, and streets filled with potholes. I just could not understand. How is this possible? How is it possible that neighborhoods that border each other had changed so drastically? As I grew older, I gained awareness. People who lived in affluent neighborhoods paid higher taxes, which permitted better education, fire departments, police stations, roads, and services. It attracted retailers, banking, and businesses, which generated revenue, and that revenue was recycled back into the community. Those people were able to leave to their children their home, a business, or their legacy. And those children passed that wealth or legacy to their children. Legacy can take many forms. Legacy is leaving or passing something tangible or intangible that will impact the lives around us. It can be through a benefit of fortune, the benefit of an asset, the benefit of policy and practice. Legacy impacts the lives of our families, our friends, our communities. Family legacy is the core values and foundations instilled by our parents, guardians, our elders, through our characteristics, our features, our behaviors, our habits, our faith, and our ideology. It can be monetary or an asset, like property passed through generations. When we think about legacy in our communities, we think about cultures and traditions which symbolize identification, but also symbolizes the preservation and progress of a community. Preservation, which showcases past historic elements and tell us a story about who and what was there before. Too often, in urban communities, we have those legacies, but we fail to cultivate them, which impacts generational growth and progress. There are noticeable patterns of underdeveloped and underrepresented areas. There are poor housing conditions, limited access to education, healthcare, economic development, limited access to and outdated infrastructure. Also, lack of transportation and technology, lack of job opportunity, and lack of access to capital. There are higher levels of stress and undiagnosed mental and health issues in those communities. We see it all the time. We see that on the news, somebody getting killed or stabbed in an underrepresented community, and mental illness is not diagnosed. There was another critical element that caused this disparity. It was restrictive building and zoning regulations. You see, the affluent communities made changes to their local building and zoning ordinances, which allowed business growth and development. But the lower end communities, those zoning ordinances had not been changed for decades. The question becomes, how can we optimize legacy in these underdeveloped communities? It's simple. By changing restrictive zoning policy, which created this separation and segregation. by implementing policy which bolster economic growth, by rethinking ideologies that no longer apply because of modernization and technology, ideologies which sometimes perpetuate fear and prejudice. Also, working with our community leaders, our community organizations, and our citizens to create a holistic master plan that transforms these spaces to viable, economically charged environments. We are now in the time of globalization. Most of us have become global citizens. I know I have. We have access to various parts of the world and can view their socioeconomic efforts. With this integration, we can harness ideas for growth potential in our communities. By building an inclusive future and building for the future, we can connect ideas, cultures, and community to create an impactful legacy. By building inclusive housing, where everyone, regardless of income, finds a secure and welcoming home. Where depending on your life cycle, from childhood, adolescence, adulthood, middle age, and elderly, can live comfortably. By building to combat climate change and creating sustainable futures, improving our infrastructure, because we have 100-year storm events every other week or every other month here in Miami. By elevating community living and working towards a vibrant, equitable society, we can shape our urban destination to become a walkable, pedestrian-friendly oasis with lush greenery and inviting lighting, fostering a holistic environment which fuels economic growth, entices businesses and investors, which drives growth and development. The mission is to drive economic revitalization, empowering the residents to shape their own futures, to meet expanding community needs, and inspire new ventures. It is our responsibility to form the foundation for future generations so the legacy we create can be passed on. Thank you.